Kryptonite New York lock was famously a lot more difficult to break into. However, a grinder will get through this in about 2 minutes. A good sized grinder. That's why you still need something like the D1000, the Skunk Lock Carbon Edition, or a Light Lock. And I'm still waiting on Light Lock to ship me their lock. Something that I pre-ordered a while ago. Hey everyone, this is Mike from The Ride. In case you didn't know, bike locks are not super secure. It usually takes a dedicated thief with power tools about a minute to 2 minutes to grind through the toughest lock. I'm talking about the Kryptonite locks. I'm talking about any U-lock. Just in general, you just can't. In fact, there are only 3 known manufacturers in the world right now that create bike locks that make it very difficult for people with the powered grinders to grind through your lock and then make off with your bike. And so I'm going to talk about 2 of them because there's a third one that I have not received yet. But here's the first one. This is the Hiplock D1000. This is a beefy, really heavy, very difficult to grind through. They call it almost grind proof, a type of U-lock. This retails for about $300 US. You can get these right now. They're readily available through my link down below, affiliate link down below with REI. So the D1000, it's actually rubberized all around. It feels extremely solid. And you can see a bunch of tests that some people have done with the D1000. You will know that this will take forever to cut through compared to any regular lock. Basically, what you're doing is you're trying to deter the thief or the potential thief from making off with your bike by making it more difficult and adding this as the main U-lock that locks your frame and your rear wheel, if possible, to a object that is non-movable and also difficult to cut through makes the most sense. And that's the Hiplock D1000. However, there is a new option. There's another option called the Light Lock, and they have actually made a new version. A lot of them are actually on pre-order. They are probably a little bit behind in the manufacturing schedule, but you can get those. Light Lock X1, Light Lock X3. I haven't actually tried those yet. So when I get one of those, I will let you know. They also run about the same price. Here is yet another option. This is actually the Skunk Lock. This is the Skunk Lock Carbon. What I like about this one is that it is also very grind resistant. And this is relatively new. I think they only showed up in the market quietly in February or March. So there aren't a lot of reviews on this yet. But I will tell you that the skunk version of this is a very good deterrent in that it puts out a ridiculously noxious smell that'll make you want to gag and throw up. I haven't actually tried that myself. I thought, great, that's fine. That still might not necessarily be enough for someone to stop someone from stealing your lock, but something like this that is more grind or saw proof would. Okay, so this is the Skunk Lock Carbon. It's quite a bit larger. And I think this is where the difference lies for certain people. Now, if you have a fat bike, I'm going to choose this one. This one's just longer, has more clearance, you see that, and more space in between. It's got a few extra inches so that it fits around depending on where you lock, it fits around certain places a little bit better. It feels about as heavy as the D1000, so it's probably not as robust as the D1000, but it's also quite a lot cheaper. This might be enough for you in a lesser than maximum security type of area. Now you combine the 2 of these together and no one's making off with your frame unless they cut your frame, probably. So this is something to consider. However, the 2 of these combined, we're looking at probably an extra 10 pounds. But if you are biking for fitness anyways, what's another 10 pounds? Not a big deal. Some of us can probably lose some of the weight. I'm talking about myself. And one thing that I did find that is not as cool about this is this feels a little bit cheaper. This piece right here, this outside area is kind of plasticky, so I can't really see what kind of metal is protecting this area down here. Whereas this feels extremely solid. The D1000 feels extra solid all the way around. Whereas this part here, where most of these will probably cut through, this part feels a little bit solid, but not this part. This part would probably smash open and then you'll see expose the metal inside. Another thing, I found that the lock and key on the skunk lock, and I'm not going to show it to you right now, looks very basic. It probably is a lot easier to pick lock the skunk lock carbon that I have here, and it could be just my version of the lock. I don't know, because I only got one of these. It could be just a lot easier to pick, like a lot easier to pick than this one. So I can't wait until a lock picking lawyer gets one of these things to try. Hopefully he will pick it and show you how quickly or not so quickly it is, because I'm not an expert in lock picking, that this might be to pick. But this is significantly less expensive. It has the branding skunk lock, so people don't know, be like, great, this guy has one that's going to smell. And then when you get it right over here, there's a little warning. It tells you don't use a saw on here because it's not going to work. You're going to break your saw, basically. You're going to break your saw with both of these things, but this one actually has a warning, and I like that about this. And it's also bigger and weighs just about as much as the smaller one. So now we have more options. It's just a win for everyone. I'll have links down below for both of these, and let me know what else you use. I'm really curious what you use to protect your bikes. And if you've got a bike stolen, how did it happen, and what are you going to do differently? I'm really curious to hear. All right, that's it for this video. Please give this a like, subscribe for more. I'll catch you next one. Thanks for watching.